appointment committee for Munsemo a position because on who say, look, MPP no nya ponya debia a bit me amani sikebi and it one only there. One dwene ho se obekwa akwa pray appointment. Afenyo markings asemwa wono editu edwano. Now clearly asemia afenyo de betu dwano me hwehwe mu ada edi pefe se papa no enya nokre na na wo ka. When di nokre ankyere Ghana for because I have got an audio sir actually pefe se emra MPP wa ban so obomodi apa achewa asanke yenye the minister ana Akufo-Addo amma the ministerial position ono afenyo no ankasa ekan ye nenumuto ana ode to abontene enti ene isa ukofo obi te se afenyo markings na oti appointment committee enim no o kansem foforo a clearly you should not take his words seriously. What this person is doing is that no appointment committee na what is one. The posture and the position in na say, or ye bibia ebe please Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the better ex-president of Ghana. What you say? Aha, and no warrior. But I said warrior bibia ebe the image of the MPP no. Nipa domino edi ehuma bro bibe ti omo supremo enya no warrior. Because clearly ya koto abano say nke Akufo-Addo bo ne ho modene ya nke MPP for breaki the 8 ori ye a wan bo ne ho modene ntino na MPP for elusu poto ene yenya a very huge margin ama affected the MPP numbers in Parliament ene yo madane the micro minority ukoka no omubu afuno. So clearly Afenyo Markins is not somebody that Ghanaians should take him as a serious person. One, the or ye for ono ankasa ne person kuminya. It is a wutie ne kasana ne wutie ne numa semwa. And semwa walk our Parliament when you is about one. And then the ebema Akufo-Addo feeding the ego. Where your vice or your friend say former ex-president. What he has here? Where your former ex-president. Wouldn't he has here kona question po. Bro phenomena maker. Say me pen a bit me akano. So clearly, Afenyo Markins are what take a year friend is an appointment committee anymore. When you're not doing so, baby, question, Papa be a magana for your home for so, Debbie. Because you're not doing so, baby, questioner. And camera health minister Betnan anymore. And you have been Wabaka Ghana for the Riasa and San for you answer one no Afenyo Markins, you know. Sebio, Wabobra, and Intino, Wabobra, and so Wabobra, and 1%. No Babo Modia aqua aji a year position. Clearly, Afenyo Markins to or no what two no or yeah, so maybe some questions that will provoke the thought of a year the health minister. Yemia a year Ivan Kyei innocent. Among for the one say the dini innocent, but when you're innocent, you're going to come up Papa. Ivan, Yamwakaba. Now, I'm going to say.
Oh, Yamiado Mahodo,
Mamenka say a year London for Maba, especially the nurses of one. Womo a check pa and Ramiko a year baby a friend or epping. Na Ghana for Mamephobia, Mikoshomi, Ketesia, Fubi say, Ivan no, won't worry and Kaiminia Baba away. I will tear ya, you wouldn't crewman get in Pemanawa. Namsi Ivan no, yeah. Ukoka esiadi asembe banti mame for munja branti na when the sa no mama obi ba Jeki mama obi ba Ivan no ahwe from say bra Ivan the London for my can no apomu biem.
Oh me hoya na Monday morning Monday afternoon in Ghana Monday evening me chia obi a ohwe me chia obi and I think say Yadomasi, those of Ghana for Munyambre and follow the discussion back home. My catch up answer about Kuma and motivates me has to do with the energy Ghana for the diaspora. They used to follow discussions and political development back home. And I think that a lot of people are interested in what we do here. So there will be a support whichever way they are not. It will be as because I think that all the time, no. They are the very people who are motivated to do what we do. Because so yeah, we is any party and any country. I'm not sure. So when you so
Joe Ivan, and yes, Joe so far. Many occasions, the producer say Alexa Fono, Womuti, Ivan in Yatna CD. Numbers now were 800. This year, no, a shoot to call 2,218. When him say a coin, moment so air drive your mutino, you see, and almost about 500 for an 80. Over a year, the other social media, and also a lot of people are listening. Ivan, young franchise, you see. Assembly Baba Tujafa, the president of United States of America. Now, and they say African leaders be brainwashed so Edo Manua to me say, why should African leaders be worried about Nshisheya or Donald Trump? Why the worry? Say this is a clear opportunity for African leaders, especially Sebiu. Africans a year paying for more a year or mine or mudi or manimono. This is a clear opportunity for them to a year develop a year warm crew rather than say blemu a year Donald Trump. And say me a year Ora a year former a year president of Kenya a year Uhuru a year Kenyatta ena or the tuja. Me pesa a year with your indulgence ye did a year just ye tie ne numa semino na ye ba na eja. Also, what they was atu a year ega. Yankotie a year Uhuru a year Kenyatta.
I saw some people the other day crying, oh, I don't know, Trump has removed money. He said he's not giving us any more money. What to analia? Why are you crying? It's not your government, it's not your country. He has no reason to give you anything. I mean, you don't pay taxes in America. He is appealing to his people. This is a wake-up call for you to say, okay, what are we going to do to help ourselves? Instead of crying, to Julius, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Yeah, to support ourselves, because nobody is going to continue holding out a hand there to give you. It is time for us to use our resources for the right things. We are the ones who are using them for the wrong things. Yeah, the bullets and the guns we buy, we're not given for free. We buy them, and we're not buying them to go and fight wars off our shores. We are fighting our own people. Hapa too. Yeah, brother killing sister, sister killing brother over stupid things. Yeah? Let us work together.
Yet, a year, Ora, a year, Uhuru, Kenya, no, Chilimu say, Emma, Africa for leaders, no, and you're worried. And it's the right time for us to think about how we can also develop our country. And Donald Trump said, a US aid, no, to other African countries, no, or between. Some leaders are of concern, especially African leaders. No? Do you think, say, a year Ura, a year former president of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, at what point say we shouldn't worry about, say, Donald Trump ever cancel aid our more edema African countries?
Yeah, Dr. Ren, the time I mentioned I'll be na mention what's here for. Now, when I said this issue way a very complex issue. A dependent how over approachino and so here America position post Second World War. America became the world leader after the Second World War. Yes, there are many who argue about the unipolar, the bipolar world at the time, but it's the fact that America became a world leader after the Second World War, and in doing so, no. Or yes, sir, in the form of aid packages and assistance to countries, then as for them. So we are quite now to so by it's through this out of Marshall Plan. Through and on what it pay or mind to say, even Turkey, I will be able to say a Muslim dominated country to be one of the countries that very a part of NATO, all because of the Marshall Plan, no package, a woman, no drop communism. go for democracy, capitalism, and come for cash. So America, in terms of aid, other countries, has been a foreign policy approach what you saw over the years. And I turned out to a lot of African countries, especially, are so much lazy, and we have normalized it. It is we say obicha every day, becomes normal. You think that person has a responsibility to all this as kind of amount, even though aid any assistance. There are some that come as a result of treaties and other engagements in Nasifwa. But you see, somewhere and there, the geopolitical arena, also now where how attention is a brew, and how America, for instance, every position in the one. Most of them are adopting this protectionist approach, domestication instead of globalization. So Trump, that has been his policy. Let us take care of people within America. So why must we waste our resources taking care of other countries? So Trump is somebody he's ready to let go America grips on the world. Because the very moment you let go all these assistance in aid, you're going to lose a lot of your allies, your friends, and people over the years. So, but he, because he's from a business world, that politics, and he's looking at the win-win situation for America, where the people will benefit from ties in engagement or no. He sees win, and I say gain. Beyond that, he's not looking at any other thing. And now motivating this particular decision. And in recent times, what America approach or dealing with this illegal immigrants in a forum, now Trump or impose tariff clearly a signal to Obia said this is foreign policy approach. The guy is not going to bend it down, because he has this economic way and drive on how America is going to win in terms of economic. Whether politically America will be superior, those areas in the there, the focus and the share that they have. And why Africa is worried is because you see, over the years, corruption, your family saying mismanagement, family and friends, young state resources, and so forth. So on our own, we've not been able to take care of our countries. And I rely solely on some of these external cash now, and we think enough. Normalize them. It's why we expect countries to take approach sabi obetinya toto ne niema yi ama e man no ankasa anya a certain economic fortune bia ono ankasa betinya ye no. That responsibility ya renege on it. And you rely solely on some of these monies every abundant back. So you cannot fight him, because that is his foreign policy doctrine adopted. And it's not as if that Trump was when he was campaigning in America, he told the people, this is my approach. So for the people to vote for him over 5 million, it means the people subscribe to his policy of protectionist and domestication. That is why the last time I may not have a conversation, I told you, Trump may be taking unpopular decisions and may be taking unpopular decisions, but he has a popular support from the people. And this our deportation in as for now, the core American people now more hopefully say these people are invading your country. They are really pushing for this thing to happen. And it's a border crisis now there caused before now. People were happy say Obama Trump and say some of these things will stop. And for them, they don't have a problem. Problem. And why should we have a problem? Because of gross mismanagement, incompetence, greed, corruption, and the fact is that we are not ready to do anything for ourselves, but we rather rely on some of these things. And as you said, may not have all this. As you said, Uhuru Kenyatta, ATA, me and Sana all making this. I have posted on Facebook just recently, some few minutes ago before our conversation, and I don't know if I can put the poster.
Yeah.
Say, however upsetting Trump's mass deportation of illegal immigrants from the USA may seem, It is a wake-up call for corrupt, self-serving leaders around the world, especially in Africa, to fix the mess choking their countries. Stop stealing and invest in your people. I think that is the same thing.
Yeah. Exactly what you were saying, Pepe. I think it's the same thing now. Also, say.
Exactly. So you cannot blame Trump. We blame ourselves because it's not as if we don't have what it takes. The resources, everything, we have it here. But ask yourselves that attitude consistently, no. We can't take care of ourselves. We better take on my way bankrupt in an African country. On my way, declare the first time the debt service crisis, an African country. On my way, an African country. We turn the whole thing into a political show. Like we messed up and everything goes. So Trump has sat down and has realized how irresponsible most African leaders are. Not just Africa. The target is not Africa. Around the world, even in the offense, not
even Canada cry what to be a mom.
Yes, and so with him Trump, I don't know. He doesn't give a damn about Obiade, or no. Once he wakes up and he thinks that this is what is right for his people, he doesn't care. That is why he's so much unwavering in his resolve to ensure that this particular thing will be done, and there will be a it is a way to stand off with Mexico, the standoff with Colombia, Guatemala, and several other countries. And the posture is almost the same as any other African country. So it's not as if that he's treating any other country with weight. Canada of all countries. A man for dream to go to Canada. No? Look at the way he's talking down Canada. Clearly, I said, or you're very persistent in his new foreign policy approach. You're protectionist and then domestication. Or making sure that my first priority is to serve the people of America. That's fine. And you can't be grouchy because the people voted for him. So it is a wake-up call for African countries and other people say, we need to also wake up and make our country great again. Because they check our side, and no, America is the eye of the world. That's the destination everybody want to go. Because the last time I had argument with somebody, Nameka said, you wake up a day, you can't superpowers, and then people are mentioning China, people are mentioning Russia. Dr. Ren, the statistics and the data are available. How many people wake up a day, no, I find a bag, somebody Babusian for Russia, what in mind?
China and Russia and the Ghana form soon. Yeah, but see, America, and the American baggage in the trainers now. Yeah, hip hop house China.
Obia find a bag is all because economic life in Russia, that particular way, doesn't create that particular avenue for it can't happen.
I mean, the discipline in these two countries, higher and greater freedom of speech, any freedom of association, and many African people don't want to go there.
Yes, and in China it's the same thing. The only time you have say African or visa for China and either sort of name and also Okusian there and our conference. Now said Ghana you for the bag is China make fighting for Chinese citizenship and I make fighting for Russia. It hasn't happened. So America has always been the target, and people are flowing because of massive economic opportunities that are available there. So it is the eye of the world. Everybody wants to go there. The reason why you see everybody around the world will be you're going to America. So Trump also feels that he has a responsibility to ensure that mass infiltration, will be curtailed. Because when you have people, if people are coming using visa and so forth, so they go through certain screening processes and so forth. But you wake up a day and you have about 10,000 people crossing your border, entering into your country. There is no data, absolutely nothing. Check it. The criminal background of people who are coming, the reason why they are coming, it's a messy situation. And I think that particular reason, these reasons, and they justify these things in his eyes and in the eyes of the very people who voted for him. So like I'm saying, African leaders, time has come for us to wake up. The immense natural resources and the we need to turn them into something valuable. And then somebody sent me a document, Botswana government. any one foreign company are going into agreement. The diamond, rough diamond, mine. It's one of the biggest diamond
countries in the
in the world. I want to now go into 50-50 agreement. Even that I disagree. But they are having 50-50 agreement with this foreign company. Come back to our part of the world, Dr. Red. Yeah, oil since before time. Now yeah, less 10%. Now no under 2024, and the biabai lithium. I am for Soraba so check and I say. So it seems like you need answer because you didn't say politics is about maybe kisika for myself, and then I will always impoverish people. Number two also over constituency are honorable. So economic opportunities and incentives that are available to people in America, it is not for people here because people are not willing to create it. Like I just said, the doctrine of leadership in Africa has always been the same. Create poverty. Let the people be poor so that you can control them. But in America, and your doctrine to make people poor. The doctrine is to make sure that let people work. They gain money and we also gain. That is why the last time I was telling you is the American economy, even in the UK, is debt-oriented.
Yeah.
You can't live in America for a month. Now you can't. You understand? So the system is such that you need to work. That is the system we need to replicate here. Lesson because Dr. Ren, so Ghana needs here no year, so even when you common 5,000 a month, now you are sure that work is guaranteed. That trust me, never be bring to kind.
Where the Okasa some with my for way to Mukakra. And then one of our brothers be sending me a message be so Modiana post was social media and it's saying a brand TB no obi no akwa do USA and what the message you send it. Now say I arrived in USA on the 19th January 2024 and they sent me back to Ghana 24th January. Sorry, I arrived in the USA on 19th January 2025, and they sent me back to Ghana on 25th January 2025. And now I don't know what to do because they sold family property to send me. It was not my fault. It wasn't my family's fault. I hope our leaders can take a cue and fix the country for all of us. Where do I get the help to pay off the money for my family?
Dr. Ren, make no mistake. In all this analysis and argument that I make on this deportation thing, I will never blame any Ghanaian who travel to US. Whether I say all paper and not only paper, I will never blame them. I've spoken to a number of people living abroad. Some a desire to even live in Ghana, to come home. But Dr. Ren, you said, dear Pamuno Jaiwa, how dare you stop running? When the thing now Pamuno a sweet child, you can't stop running. It is that it can extracting your friends are extractive economic institutions are certain or I so corrupt. I so your friends say and really in the power. I so greedy. I impoverish people. There are people who make the argument, oh Ghana, what's national we business are? Yes, it's true. You can sit here, but besides such incentives and opportunities, in terms of percentages, how many people they are available to them? The same people go to America. I can sit here and the majority of Ghanaians are US, go how to be income. Obi oha, what the pension is about to be thrown, but they go there and they make life. Because the system has been structured in such a way that it takes care of everyone. I know Ghanaians in the UK, they don't even know, they can't even speak good English. They can't write. They can't read anything, but they are living good. Because the system has been structured in such a way, say, Dr. Ren, why can't we do the same here? These people come back to Ghana and now every nebusian folk club will say they see you as a failure. But ultimate try no move, not do that particular place. He or she becomes somebody. And then at the end of the day, Nipana Otiha, say, well, go school, and to be thrown in when you say, suddenly the person becomes the family head. Family will take a decision or you involve. Yes, I'm meeting. It's not how hypocritical we are. It means that we can equally turn this particular economy into an arena. A bit to me, I say the human potential, the ingenuity of everybody, irrespective of whether you are educated, not educated, strong, whatever.
Do you think it's we have to do a pempenswa instead of say the educated ones, any a year compete among the so-called uneducated a friend is saying masses of the nation, it's about time the educated ones will try and profess solution and then get the wisdom of Sebio, the society na nipadom anko school together instead so as a competition between the educated and the non-educated, but it rather yen coming together Jojo and see how best we all can fix the country Ghana. And I'm saying this on a background story of how no more Parliament access to loans, all because they were complaining to the then Jerry John Rawlings to say, school MPs class na abogafo no na one mu detective woman esisi adaya kese woman na ewo cocoa farms no woman na ewo tomato farms no woman so aneja ahemfofo ni tie woman so na ba woman de cars posh ones ne ba ye kwa so ni enya all these access to loans no and to cars ye ho be kire. Do you think that we have come to the a point where into Sanyo Maningu and then we should team up as a nation, whether educated or non-educated, so that we can all build the nation Ghana?
Yes, I think that is a good question. Dr. Ren, I am watching. I'll say that I'm for us and the message my face is not showing on your video on Facebook, so I don't know how you can fix that.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I think the question now will come on a very, very important question. As you're looking at as a people. Dr. Ren, one thing I've been telling you is that the system now Kasano is corrupt. It's structurally is skewed against the masses and they favor few in power. That is the problem that we have. Because you see, we live in a country. On minor yet we are about 33 million people, Dr. Ren. Nipa or more government payroll and yet up to 1 million. But these people end up taking almost 60 to 70 of all tax revenue generating the 32 million on my can there's someone in the moon. Nothing happens to them. And we've done it in such a way, say, for instance, if you go to Parliament now car loan. If you go to your friend said the judiciary and other people, these are people ordinary, we pay them well and far better than the teacher in the classroom, than the lecturer at the university, than the military officer all risking a life, than the police officer and a doer will be a dano or take car to our name would air bogan and the hobby. If you look at the salary structure and as why the man now, if you go back to look at these people aside their salary, the other incentives are a camona. A buabum, a yadia and motivate you be a so I know the day. A person America by the eye of the world that will be a person okono. Then it position politicians and politics as a face of everything. I will be a super alcohol because alcohol ye. And that is the kind of sick narrative as a yes as people going forward. Because I'm not sure say your justice system no said the SCT say I Nase a Koswa, Dr. Ren. Niamabeko Yamai. The system is structurally skewed to against massive citizens, you know, and in favor majority of the people out there. It did not make catch now. Oko Parliament, I'll call your first thing, Yama car loan, Koto loan, and Kotoka, Dr. Ren will be over Parliament, you know. So when you're ready, now say, to me, maybe as a teacher, you know, tear grass now, or also air quality way, no. Why not talk our man? Why the man those incentives in the for no? See me now risking a life, no. Why not? Oh yeah, baby man. I've worked with people at the theater, Dr. Ren. Through medical procedure or OB operation, there was a spillover and the blood gushed into the doctor's eye. Unfortunately, no, the person was HIV positive. So till date, the doctor is HIV positive. Because of the risk involved, needle pricks in and yard the ketwa. Dr. Ren, these are risks people go through. At the end of the day, if the system is not rewarding, it's not benefiting them. You sit here, work as a nurse 30 years after, maybe at a crime damn with me see a class. The system is not rewarding. Somebody be join political platforms to see how whenever I was sit down or airport hills and then as a forum over the cars and as a forum. So I know the day, you know. The question is Nippon we hear you or mine grow no, and your those at the top and your those at the ground. They work to build the country. The question is, are we working to build the country? Go back to this. There's a ministers in the crowd. That's what they do. Dr. Ren, go and check the various CEOs, deputy CEOs, the benefits and other things that comes their way. And there is something I always make strong argument against this per diem that we pay to people because they are working. Because you are not per diem, no. You are working. I don't know you travel. So if you are traveling, I don't see the sense in paying extra money to these people because the person is traveling. And you know the way we do our things. A meeting that is supposed to take 1 day, they will spend about 3 days off for the per diem, then as a forum. So all these near way, you know, or minor economically. And I've told you, these monies could have gone to other people. The last time I may explain to you why the system is skewed in the way it is. Because in the olden days now, Dr. Ren, coming from London to take care of Africa, either as a governor, as a police officer, was seen as a risk. And to go back, your man salary, your man risk allowances, your friends say, bed allowance, clothing, all these things were there to motivate Abrofuna major mobusian for her back. Because traveling all the way those days from London to Ghana, no, the economic conditions, the health-wise, and so forth, and not a toxic environment that nobody wanted to come. So they needed to motivate people to come. Dr. Ren, independence, you know. We didn't see the sense to do away with this thing. And do back judge, you know, our garden boy, our cook, our security, our these people are paid by the state. I'm telling you.
Wouldn't you say one of the things I said you're working now make us say a share Ghana food trim now till date grano. A man for be no and my emancipate or my dream say but here me kwaye aban adwuma say na okay during the days na your colonial masters adwuma na yekokoye de boa wo mo enenti sa governance no the governance there no the workers there no the public servants there no proud to year 1957 no na omo de ne say ye be ye adwuma no na de aboa British governor no ene the crown queen no na ya peja wo no ne ideology ene wo no ne ma wo pe enenti enam say ye papa ne ye maame ne nananom no emu bi no ebedum pempenso bi ehye wo mabufuo nti no mo kwa adwuma mu a omo no say aban adwuma obroni adwuma enenti no omo nyere wo mo ho enye because it was a form of protest to the leaders then. Now fast forward ye independence in 1957 no I think say one of the things that a high after the overthrow of a year Kwame Nkrumah was a year the sensitization, the education. Remember, my many papa ni nuanom say a free nekono a juma no a wo kwa akoye any of the ministries no enya aban adwuma biem na emom ye yankasa ye adwuma enti yanyire ye ho yenye yankasa ye adwuma na emom si yanyire ye ho anye ne akoye de se eye obroni na adwuma no an ye no te se de be ne saa trokan no de a ebe ha wo man no mpuntuo ne wo man ne nkoso enti till date obi kọ eye adwuma mu a no akọ work loto obi kọ adwuma mu a no akọ akodi agro because we ka say we dey aban adwuma ni referee say enei aban adwuma no eye wo no ene me adwuma na ye dey ase ne nsa so wonye ne yie na aban no oman no entumpon. You say what did you make an say Ivan?
Yeah, what said Dr. Ren is true. It's true. And we can make that argument any day. It's a very solid argument. Your friend said, you bet me justify because Dr. Ren, it's a fact to say, so what national track output, you know very well that is zero. Majority of our any impact our economy so because of this level of indiscipline and mentality. Then as a for we are just marking time. Over Europa, say 5 hours. They see to it within the 5 hours. You commit a lot into the 5 hours. Go to London, now for a month for a warehouse and answer for them. Sanema was Dr. Ren within 1 hour. No, and within 15 minutes, you work and make sure that there is a productive output. In that part of the world, and yes, I had you. So who's a month for a year, Juma, but the output is nil because nobody is really working. Because there are no systems and mechanisms in place to check the productive output of an individual. I do know the output to do that because the mentality is that and when people are stealing from a bank, they see the Aban as an alien, as a foreign or some kind of obi.
Exactly.
Now I have seen people living in government bungalows and as a foreign. Dr. Ren, Nipana your professor or your doctor or was seniors at a level or the Madia Yawanga. Uncle Dina or Timno. Bear 30 years in the year, 20 dino tap. But on one dine or the Amahan or Coco has a pentia. But dino no Timno because I buy them a pentia into the unfancy penty.
And I say, and you been a sea Ashanti regional and the new Ashanti regional minister. No, Emran Wambamba a year Ashanti regional minister. The videos, no. About 2 abontinia, 8 years of MPP. Woman to me renovate a year the residence of the Ashanti regional minister. Any the residents are president, but Ashanti regional baby or any Tibeto. No majawama well food, no majawama a chance. Omuenswa, we are so fun, air condition, a friend is saying sliding doors, sliding glasses. Can you just imagine? Because I are buying there.
Yes, because Adamakacha said no punitive consequences for nobody. Chroma, you can punish you. You do everything with impunity, you get away with it. And that is where that we need to begin this conversation. People do these things. And it's the reason why your mom for Duma, Syrian, the last time I was telling you.
So many it may be a juicy position, where they are juicy position. How should a friend say serving your nation be a juicy position?
Juicy position. Because your mom appointment among 4 years, because Onimsa Okona Okomesi Apa, no responsibility, nobody will hold anybody accountable. That is the sick culture we have created in our part of the world. So Sanyama Wenina Kabuma, Dr. Ren, a creative poverty. A creative poverty, people must always find a way to survive. Some cannot sit in. There are a lot of people who are travel outside. Dr. Ren, make no mistake. I'm telling you.
Hey, now there's some now okay. Near Mubebe by ya besia, dear, young coffee cry, Sienko. Now, I'll cram botis a police, a bang, cry. Many years ago, now, man for Johnny, because it's a being cracked anymore. Hey, because we're qua or qua in a bushia could be, or qua in a mamma in a bushia, dear no more qua could be. Make us be a busia, a Japadia, the Aton to study a making can, Yatuma busia, Japadia, some Fambra Brucci, or Barbrucci and Koi, or so say, one coffee, or bet cock of him time, or bet Nemama, and near ma to toy and when you be a coffee, yes, a padia, or catch and so on coffee padia won't, because look.
Dr. Ren, that is the reality. Yeah, ignore. And we seem to be having a normal conversation where everything is okay, everything is cool. Nothing is cool. The name of Trump in one part, I will hope, and some fata, but in another part is a wake-up call. It is a wake-up call for African leaders and we the citizens. Last time America said, I never come when you Ghana for more diaspora and say in this political conversation, they have never left themselves out. Ghana for the diaspora have been part of this conversation from the beginning to date. And I like the way the energy and the enthusiasm of what this driver Electoral said. The mere fact that you are not living in Ghana doesn't mean that the cost of foul. Dr. Ren, pressure and as if we free fear call to people abroad. Say me part of a phone off for a while. On found we are depressed. On found we are some obicura for on Chiao, or Miss Answer obesity. No answer I send a message. I need money for this.
I say, and many wouldn't come where me call for ya, me journalist for your information, Bremby. And last month, assembly out to Tungo for boys in tea. Me journalist now be born where they are, baby, what that hotel. I heard wa copim time and some of the call from Kakra. When you know, Sebio, one confess can't command what. By then, when your story, no, I say, you know, the Chadima or mine, or mine so far, why do not yet to Mrs. A year or mine Shebre? Said you, okay, when you call now, you must.
Yeah, Dr. Ren. Now, I understand can near my Rubia Mountain with a from UK. See, I'm not sure, say your colleague. I want to hop before for a process and be 100 pounds.
Oh, Debbie.
That's no big catch. Or say you cannot use a Chelsea car 10 pounds. And I 10 pounds and not 10 pounds, no, or fast and be brow blue or Ghana. One day I can no vegetable. So what do you say? You not 10, but wow, what's one winning brow bebre and son Albania says he cannot. So I think that, Dr. Ren, conversation like this, it is never about NBC, MPP. Said they are always, we trivialize the whole discussion, politicize it, another day we lose its value. I think that they are Trump because Sir Trump, another person may come and even be far more worse than Trump. Obi grab a catch us say, wow, paper crowd or castle Pamwadena. Time has come. In the next 100 years, Africans, yens mean a priority say, Messara Makotro be mine, so Messara Makotro be mine, so yen take it upon ourselves. Say America, a man for build you, or nana, a build your mind into whole. Time has come for us to do the same. Now you say in the future, your kids will not go and live in another man's country to be subjected to this kind of humiliation. Who hear some of the videos now? I don't know, bit come, or the videos and what it come, or more kind of police vote now. Find a car engine, and black man, no good for Canum, I knew you understand
him say a groom. There was a time I named Tibas. I was Central London. Nah, driver need drive ya na Central London is na omo used to a bicycle this annual man, they are no more tardos. Because of businesses in the parking this they were high in Jamutai, you see, public transport, and then they use their bikes and then they get to work. And I drive by a cyclists be driving into the driver any break here, yeah, mommy penny be what take a year a friend is say one of the seats, nani chako bo a year metal bus him. Na ehwa opinion power na ne mama astate eswele chale driver ni hunu sa ne yemhye no broni driver ne yemhye ne se ne wo frɛ ambulance enti ye nyina ye nsi fom ma me ne se de be me am frɛ ambulance Eti, a one I may be Kasa, be Shasabia be on or no in Mammy Tuntun, any patuntum. May I say be a micrum yam so. Mammy Pacho Boko dear, no so me offer say Boko now for ambulance at me home by Treme, and I may minya felano, and I may see Boko Neja, me pay a year one of your private a year Dr. CB 1 or 2 meet me can be brave 10 times on tea, Kofuti, and a jack, but in the call your cosana, your man drew man fire and a jack, me anka some expenses, me am shema, ye ni bibia kama, and I'm jan on a jack, betwa. My point to you so clearly no pono we proud the crowd was so beko a year ne akohunu ne a year general practitioner a GP and now beko hospital because him so kwa new man in krata and crowd woni bia wodi be register no it we proud ankaja driver him say the fault there but then I'm in krata enti odi ne mumma kofie sa.
And there are almost suffer domestic abuse in the UK, in America. It be a rape, it be a by force imprisonment, and then as for man for shed them. You can report because all reports on our these are unfortunate situations people are locked up in. And I think that meaning America said, don't blame Ghana and also to crime. Never blame Ghana and owning Krata and yana fault. Blame us. The kind of corrupt system we have built here. Because at REN, I can sit and tell you, say, resources be our mind be here or the you work in abundance, including human resources. Argentina situation now turning out to be something like this. It's because of the kind of politics I had in Cuba. Winner takes all. Winner knows it all. Winner need to have it all. Family and friends, a rewarded amount for based on their contribution, not based on merit in anything. So the panel so bad. Or a president has said when the William, a human may no yamame, no so bad. It's business as usual. Or mess up a system no is so damn to the extent that there are no consequences for So we have created a flat system that nurtures corruption, that grows corruption, and that rewards corruption. So such a system, you will never be successful. And that explains why entire Africa is flat. Because corruption is pervasive, greediness, indiscipline. These are the three critical things that is destroying Africa. Corruption, greedy, and indiscipline. And are we ready to confront these things? So very often, instead of us to have a very honest conversation about some of these themes, we turn it into politics. NDC by obey, say, MPs by obey, say, and I win the year. And my culture says weak people always blame others because weak people cannot take responsibility. Strong men own up to their mistake. They are part of it. They help fixing it. But because we are weak, we never act. No, we are on what in a better who could not be before. And the last time I was telling you, whenever you have that notion, because always, there is a point for you to justify your failure. And whenever you have reasons to justify your failure, you are done. Because there will not be extra motivation, no intrinsic motivation for you to move on. After all, so you can't take any initiative, no bold initiative.
Accident to do a AC, Obi Kubi Nanoa, a whole minister boa. Oh, some quanta ways to the Asia Bay for a part, Nekum call for. Hey, can you just imagine?
So in any serious country, there's such a mind, and your fits. Overholding any position anywhere in the world. But that is the corrupt system we've built for ourselves. So Dr. REN, I think that means Donald Trump for what he's doing after all. He has been given a mandate. I don't know, people are going to judge him based on some kind. So you can be angry. You can disagree with his modus operandi and so forth. But that is the promise he made to the people. He's not deporting people who are Krata. Also winning Krata. So we can't have a rational conversation and bastardize him. For what reason? There are no basis to it, but it's a wake-up call. then we need to take it upon ourselves, because what Trump is doing, is re-echoing the failure so staggering in that part of the world. And then he's ending all the free money that is flowing from America to South Africa to any other. He's stopping all these things. So it means that countries are going to start funding for themselves. You understand? Yet your budget in for foreign aid and you're funding most of the deficit. And we think it's normal. So whenever so what are your budgets now? There is a deficit because we know the money will come in to finance the gap. And the Yebedino, and also change the Yebenya, go and take our budget every single year. That has been the structure of our budget. Always there is a financing gap. Because, America for the discover back, USA discover back, wait. So we are very confident enough to create a deficit-based budget. The year didn't also change the year. That is the mindset. I think it's good Trump is taking all these things away. So country will face the reality call and begin to fix the mess, the corruption, and the sick mentality now you're taking on. And why there is the need to invest in the young potentials now you will say no. Very often when you have conversation with people abroad, they also you are doing a lot of analysis in as a forum. Ghana whether how you move around. I can sit there and tell you that there is no single person living in Ghana say now men are supporting and I'm no single person. There will be a phobia on say no single person. That is the system we live in. And see, I think the time has come. As you're turning your head back home. Now you said there are a lot of potential here.
Now, I've been trying say even a year too hypocrite to the extent they said, here is the Ghanaian who I walk say. Media, bear money, bear me, that mean gin to me, or ban or bear that mean gin to them. So, some of one I won't gin to me. No, I could jibbosia, or Musicadi, which me cockwache. Na a beam a suffer for ne, Muslimi for. Any young idea no tomorrow so where the yes by papa me tomorrow the me my journey children no based on my faith. But the answer yeah you say yeah can say papa. We are going to put our monies where our mouth is. And the software no work Pentecost software Methodist Anglican all these churches and all these imams and all these traditional rulers they are not even willing to even say every neck way the younger said yes come or mine busia. No one mind to me the idea, to me the bombardier pine. Now, one mind to me the CC school, the CC school dying, the CC hospitals, near Koyanim, near Kwaji, one more, so say, one more dear, one more year, no, a taboo. Don't you think it says about time our people who talk like this, start thinking to put their monies where their mouth is? Because America, will born a queer do and they. One also know just on your mana tumo, Europe before one, I just on your mana tumo. It is a serious part, yeah. Why don't we start having a reset of our mind? How to also start investing in our country to make our country mighty. Anna, Ivan.
I said the last time my country was a Yahania Kasakwa. Corruption in Ghana, no, Babia, I am massive. I within even the church. Corruption in Ghana, where it is so staggering. We want a time a beginning within the church. With the spring up of some of these individual churches here, there are no regulations. Corruption is so staggering and so massive to the point to say it's a filthy enterprises. People use to make money for themselves. So you cannot just base any argument on anything that comes from these people, because the question is on one moral standing at the same. And unfortunately, Christianity, which we all grew up in, has become a penthouse among for Edia and Nema Sabi. What's in China among Ferrocra to associate yourself with this? Because there is this massive hostile intuition by some vagabonds we are taking over the whole space, using it for whatever reason. And the system, there are no regulations. Nobody is regulating anything. So be a okay.
Hey, now co-regulate because I want some more. And John Mahaman could be an uncle Casse or regulate churches. Any woman be a 1-man churches in the free nequi. War Bomodia, the Cheshire to a criminal seja, and Nadia will meet the criteria. No, yeah, Baby, you if you are Ghana for ya because Mahama as a sabon sam.
Yes, and it's the reason why we are here today. And these people have the duty, have a responsibility to ensure, say, you better build the moral foundations of our society. Now you rebuke politicians to do the right thing, take good initiative. By that, Chroma by your NDC as of for the way pictures of work. A bit more, a muya sianoma cross carpet. Now you're across a consent and you take Roman aid.
You were people are him for near NDC, so I him for.
Yes. Civil society, or NDC, civil society, or civil society, journalists, or NDC journalists, no MP journalists. But Karen, that is the problem we have. So if we politicize things to this extent, that we will go nowhere. And that's what the last time I was telling you, said we need a strong-willed, pragmatic, ruthless person as president. You take decision without looking back. You take decision without looking back. Because you believe in what you're doing. You do it with unwavering resolve. If I lose, I don't care. Because my conviction has always been one. Meti ha president, but Dr. Rameno Kasadipa thousands out there 80.
Yeah.
So if I'm president today and I lose the presidency, what is the worst that can happen?
Nothing.
What will happen? So you see, but what you use the power to do, that is the most important thing.
And now no crowd there, what can ex-president me who know baby, men can't cherubia, but remember what man here? Hey, Massa, Charlie, a real seno, mere wo homo will be out. Hey, me say, and now no be a papa you baby compared to time or your president. Now bodyguards, and more a friend is saying, BNI say NIB, and a mood in Kofu, and then Nam, and will Kromuha. Then none will be me who know. Now me have conform me Kakrebi and say, hey, this world, leave a good name. That's all. Ivan, you're
power na ye canon, power now the Indian Sadia sanity. And see, you have that particular way no aid minipamu. But be a ODG young question ho. So whether the things are right or wrong. But you know, you say we need to build the country a bit to me a certain stage for a massive economic takeoff. I incorporated the ingenuity, the creative power, the talent and the potentials of young people here. How I bet me I harness these potentials into building the foundations of our country and the future, and then the offensive economic prospects. Be a bit me a boy in my culture say countries out there na I'm for dreamy. Ghana needs to continue America, not the camera series so my back, your fans will have it as for Fedia Queen in so no. It's a mess up here. So that energy should be channeled to our people just to fix the rot here, just to ensure that we do things right. Because however far you go, eventually you come back home. Because even if you decide not to come, it's not going to be an easy decision, though, Dr. Ren. Just imagine a black woman in your 80s, in your 60s, and you've decided to live in America. Weather conditions, just ask yourself. It's not going to be easy.
You see, easy. Sometimes before public transport now, whom if we be maybe I will be safe free bus man maybe I am months na nanum man musamon to mabuasi. Now be who shopping be bre wako yena and you no kwa na pushing the trolley ultim say wo bre ultim say
They get now be the video be Sunday. The woman I think is about 16 years. A Juma is okra shovel and now opium slow. Now but all this is the years and Casabe or Jen and Anama word okra shovel. I don't know opium slow to go because of so I think that
also they.
Also, now Dr. Ren, I wonder where the move I can so everything is shaking. And I overweigh a father is spasm. Muscles not throw into spasm.
Yeah.
So you have no control. It is shaking because of your friends cold, a massive cold now we are exposed to. No, it's really sad. So I think say your energy, we need to invest and we need to. I see a starting now. You respecting talent, you respecting potential, you respecting people. You bet me abwa to reshape this country. That is the pattern. Or power we are oh, you group for there. Or power we are so when you back no. Now is the same old way now. Na yakosa near the Musa na for 4 years now. So then we go away. Another set will come. What's an answer now? Gauge you don't see any much transformation impact here on the lives of the people. So about cost 90. So from since 1992, a set will come, they will go, another set will come, they will go. What's an answer now? Gauge impact now. You don't see any massive transformation on the life of the people. I think we need to open our eyes and have a very realistic conversation about critical issues like this. Now you know how to reposition this country and benefit you.
Yo, Bushia Ugusu out here Rainbow Radio 92.4 FM, Manchester, DAB plus, Nesusanso, and a year Milton Keynes, and so a year DAB plus, London, a year DAB, Sanson, all driving so Ubenya 92.4 FM, Alexa, and so with me at Ianka. My main kind messages nibi, and I mean, chia a year. Almost so 80. Quickly, my minty adwa from Poma Keki Ewa say Isaiah Ewa Ambassador of Humanity Joshua Ewa say Onaru and so I say yes sir, greetings Ochi every year at Switzerland. I greet you sir. Black Mango and so I say Samson Dell at saying Rockefeller Nana Kofi Nana Apomoe Jidise Woye lawyer Ochi baby I will be answer Yechia Joe Leeds and so Michia Michia Fosu Johnson and so Yechia Sanso and Ora John Gazy. Ora John, I must send here, details in the amount. Why I must send the details that was here. Kovi, Maminjia was Sanso Niama Johnson, sir. Kajake, when you're Samialo. Tell you to your turn. I feel quite there. Casanaya near the house and means money P the fantifrafra. Anyway, Molash, senior Molash. Abi say, yes, sir. Senior, Michiao, General Secretary, GS, Michiao. Sanso and Amaminchia, a year maga, ewaha, was see, or also edging chia. Come on. I was here. My main kind messages are production team. Also, we are doing very fantastic. I was see Ivan Kyei Innocent. Way free Ura a year Kofi or say thank you, Ivan. Nana Hema was say Ivan Nyame Enshao P. Pediam Ponyankopon Batayadom and Domun Shao Nagana Ebeye with men like you. Memfa a yesewa. Sewa Nesni or no the message, Say I'm so happy to hear my darling Ivan speaking. I'm listening to you. St. Thomas. Hey, St. Thomas Hospital. Whoever Papa. Who know answer yes. And then the hips will be sick there. Me producer, I said, me dear, me Ghana for Marshall crowd do. Na me jiji hwan mo so. Omo show na wow. When call a year Kofi Justice, also Dr. Ren, the indiscipline in our nation is too much. The only thing that Ghana can move forward is when we ensure that we have institutional discipline, we have human discipline. There is too much indiscipline. And the only way out is for us to sanitize the system. I don't mean the one that happened under Jerry John Rawlings. I mean the one that we can use education, engagement, emancipation, the minds of our people, so that we can also have a country that we all like. Justice there, Ora Sule, and so Asamoah Wadiba any or say from Sule Sinyani KT, or say fellow Ghanaians, this absolute NDC majority may turn out to be the downfall of Ghana. Hey, Asemu. Or see, if they don't give full respect to the brilliant minority MPP views, they shouldn't think that the law is the same as a propaganda. The speaker is the cause of violence in Parliament. Really? He is gradually turning Parliament into a playground. Okay. Honorable Agban Sumana Bagben is the worst speaker in Ghana's history. Long live Ghana, long live MPP. Still, it is highly possible. Inshallah. We every year Suleho. Beloved, humble. Until we break the colonial structures, we can't go far. Or also, Edia or the I mean, Bibini George, Michiao, and the son of a cordo, Mamicha or Kit Eoson, PPPP was sorry, what also 8 years and beautiful lies for 1 or 2 calls, but there's a many Ivan Kyei innocent answer. When a messenger will be there sending me special, or see me reading my Ivan. I'll say, my name is Mavis, and I am a GP general practitioner here in London. Dr. Ren, I know you know me very well here in Canterbury. To be honest with you, I have grown to love listening to Rainbow Radio, especially on your days, all because, one, all my kids want to know the happenings in their motherland. That is my country, Ghana. I am married to a white man, and my kids are misraised. And to listen to Ivan Innocent, and I'm trying to explain it to them in English language, that yes, there is a hope, there is a new beginning, and definitely Ghana shall be developed by Ghanaians. Yes, Donald Trump will take the aids, will cancel aid. We should also understand that we have a country that is blessed with natural mineral resources. All that we need is to add value, like you always say, Doc, on your show. It is time for us to unite as a nation and teach the youth about the importance of our natural resources. Enough of the colonial education system. It is about time that we teach our people on morals, values, and adding value to our natural resources. This is the only way that we can come out of poverty. Babies, yeah, Ivan, and Sana Mejawamuako. Your take on the CEO Parliament and Tokanto Queen. Meaning, so the become once and more. Say yes, answer. We'll move on to yeah.
It's one topic I can become once a minute. Dr. Ren, I think that it was really shameful. And we are Ghana at this point. Now we share your family, now we be able to do, and how Ghanaians are really into what is happening. So the caller messages, there is this renewed energy in Ghanaians wanting to see what the supposed new Ghana is gonna be. So a lot of people with a lot of hope. There are also mixed feelings in as a forum. So with this particular appointment committee, the engagement with the public, Dr. Ren, you don't expect to see the old things where we see ourselves as friends. So we can just go there, play handball, joke around and stuff. Because these people are not reading the writings and the signs on the wall. The current situation in Ghana and how Ghanaians want to perceive and see politics in a different way, in a different light, It is why all these things are coming from. Because where I renew everything, want to see something different, These people don't see those things. They think they are in the old business, old way of doing things, and that is it. And that is why me free say is so embarrassing. Because you know, one institution in recent times, one losing the mojo, one losing the dignity, all losing the essence of a parliament. And it's the reason why in recent times you've seen Parliament in a lot of denigrative comments among for a making. Now I wonder, and a Parliament will be a drag Oliver to come before them. Subject matter nana or more come assembly. Oliver apologized. But Dr. Ren, the inferences you can draw from parliamentarians and say they felt said the gentleman had disrespected them. So they needed apology in a bit to redeem the image of Parliament. Dr. Ren, I can sit here and tell you, say parliamentarians not have any sense of decency, and they need to call Oliver back and apologize to him rather. Because I think they don't deserve the apology you rendered to them. Because the way they handled the guy, the way some of them spoke to him and his lawyer, and barely a day after, you sit on TV and disgrace and embarrass yourself in the manner all of us saw. If anything, that's a one at least you show the people back home some respect by acting in a different manner. But we saw the way they acted, throwing tables around, microphones bought with state money on TV. We saw honorable men clad in expensive coats, throwing these things around. At the timer, Ghana Fofi said, oh, this time round, you know, something different is going to happen. We should expect something different. You do this, you dip among for hope and confidence. So we go back to square one. Oh, I said it's business as usual. It's the same thing. It's the same old thing. So Dr. Ren, you don't embarrass yourself, disrespect the people of Ghana in the manner that we saw, and you turn back and demand respect from Menewo because we are ordinary Ghanaians. That can happen. I told you, sir, we've gotten to a point that you can't drag respect from the jaws of people. It's a virtue you must practice and earn it. Because me who be a or the is some a fan anima, or could you mirror anima, Medima I black that. Aya Brabona Ubebono, a whole mirror image and a obedience from the people. So honorable men, we expect that dignity. You live by that standards in Nasefono. You cannot sit there and assume that every Ghanaian is a fool or every Ghanaian is a foot soldier. So they approve of those trivialities, those childish, your friend is saying, acts now, it's not everybody and not condoning those things. Some of us are very serious people. We want things to happen in a very serious way. We need to engender trust and confidence and convey messages to people. Say, we are serious, we are building a country. But with this, it's a huge drawback on the already tattered image of Parliament. The apology the man rendered isn't enough. I've listened to the speaker. He has tried to make some interventions in Nasefor by saying that there will be set charge in Nasefor, Dr. Ren. And he has also suspended 4 MPs in Nasefor. Me, that 4 MP suspension, I have issues with that. Because if you watch the video closely, it go beyond 4 people. And based on what criteria I know so to pick those 4 people. And idea you not some could have inflamed that particular thing. So if you choose 4 people from the video without any preliminary stage of investigation, then you give people reason to say anything.
Yeah. Are you therefore agreeing with with Sulise or Kase? Honorable Bagman is the worst speaker in Ghana's history. Now marry it to what the minority leader Afenyo Markins Kase. Can a judge shoot a thief on the street merely because it is his view that the person has stolen without taking him through the process of evidence gathering? Do you think Sanko for me doing some more booking a transum? the speaker being the worst?
I've had my issues with Babin, and on this platform, I know I have a lot of conversations. I have a lot of reservations so far as kind of us and Eduma is concerned. But to say that he's the worst, I think that will be extra mark. But me in the past, managing Eduma under the 8th Parliament, because I kept telling you that the 8th Parliament in the term, the weakest link in our democracy and the worst parliament we've ever experienced in recent times. But as to an individual role the speaker played to make him the worst, I need to go back and look at other speakers in the past and do comparative analysis and see. But I am somebody I'm not so much impressed about, because Charlie issue, so other issues you see, and I was suspecting at least he will use his power to summon people to appear before them to answer certain critical questions in as a forum and certain conduct in the nearby course of Parliament and Kyei. But in this particular regard, Dr. Ren, you can't just, there is a fracas in Parliament. Our video, it's all over on TV. What you see on the screens, cannot be enough basis to pinpoint 4 people and suspend them. No. We are not living in a secondary school. A teacher debate now walk in a class or who's a more sorry suspend them. That one, he can get away with it. But in a democratic country like ours, a parliament is a huge institution where penalizing those people would deny them their representation. I am not saying that those people, they don't deserve what has happened to them. No, that's not my argument. I'm saying that the methodology our employer to select the 4 are problematic. The methodology he employed to select the 4 are problematic for me, because I think that there are more than 4. And as I can at the preliminary stage, go back a full and because with this number, you don't continue public say justify why you take the 4. Like I said, I'm gonna video, which will not entirely explain what happened. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you. And I say Rebecca Sabia, because the 2 of them, they are the chief whips, and Intina, a woman and I come up, we put their people in line to behave and not to misbehave.
I think that is a fine point you've raised there. Say, a more leadership role in Parliament. So they should have seen to it, say, so reneging on that responsibility, can explain why they are suspended. So you see, like I said, politics, governance, very it's an art. So in that particular vein, you communicate and you explain why. I come from a background where everything you need, if you go to the medical field, I was taught to say, everything you do for a patient, you must have your whys. Why you are doing this? We call it the rationale. Say NG2 now pass your money pana. The rationale that justifies why you're doing this. So I know the day whoever comes to take it through knows, oh, okay, you pass the NG2 because the way. Then it makes sense. You can just throw out such tough decisions out there and no proper explanation as to why some individuals were. Because my culture said on the face of it, you can't just look at the video and pick 4 people. For video, we also saw a crowd of people shouting, pushing, blah, blah, blah. So we are it takes away certain credibility from you. So another day, we crowd with the babano. Now I something different. And so and then I'm marking and others a reason to speak.
It didn't just say what will based on the constitution and the standing orders. They say the standing orders does not permit the speaker even to suspend people outright like that. They just say constitutionally, because they be a speaker and more 2 years, and near constitution and other parliamentary standing orders, a bebra.
I think that when it comes to suspension, constitution, make it quite clear. Say member be a near member, forfeiting the position as MP. There are constitutional arrangements and Ajwa pen, so there was an attempt to invoke that particular provision. So
yes,
pension is a different thing altogether. Dr. Ren, in an association, misconduct, enough grounds for somebody to be suspended.
Yeah.
Whether the Constitution talks about it or not, because Parliament now was standing orders are rules of engagement that are dealing with internal discipline. So as long as Speaker Enyam Pamo a discipline measure being instituted, no, on Tom Rabia. Because every single institution, our disciplinary code, processes and approach are used to deal with misconduct. And the thing now all kind of misconduct. If you misconduct yourself in any institution, whether they are law or not, you know, the institution must find a way to address that particular thing. So can speaker Baba can say, oh, then you can invoke the constitutional provision and make arguments. We are talking about a suspension based on misconduct. I think it's reasonable. Even if you take away law, you know that it's reasonable. But maybe the problem has to do with the methodology he employed to select the four.
Yeah.
He used to select the four. And we heard the video now, you know, say problematic, unless there are other reasons that speaker and when you explain it to us, maybe on their bar, maybe we can agree. But their course overall, no, I think that was very embarrassing. And I like the bold stance that Speaker Ateki said. They're investigating, and I think the issue has been handed over to the CID to investigate fully what actually occasioned. And going forward, you know, what has to be done. Ghana, when it comes to investigation, is one thing I don't trust. Because it always ends up the same way we know, Dr. Ren. Now, I don't know about Obuasi issue. Immediately, President issued a statement, investigation, young counsel till date. Nobody has been informed how that thing is going. Who investigation?
When you say Obuasi, more exclusive be Obuasi assembly here. Now, you're quite because at this particular moment there, in call for the BNA, Mamma Mababo Accra and some part of the country, you know. Me say you two and more been age or meet me about Bejo Mahome Kakra. Meet me in your time and Bejo Mahome we are a desire and 70 in Abetuja. And let me tell you something about Minia. Obuasi situation is in a go a year very, very deep. Hey. Anyway, yeah.
Our expertise that such condemnations will come and those things. Dr. Ren, so I think that Ghana for our responsibility. You see, there is nobody out there who is going to fix the system. We need to force people to fix the system. And that is our sworn duty as citizens. Because you only it a duty to ourselves, Krana. Let us assume say you only it's a duty to our kids, to generation yet to come. Because if we will fix and make things better, we suffer the way we are suffering in our own country. And I think that that is the responsibility we cannot trash.
Ivan, wait there, and Sana Majal, the crack na mema unkono monsieur na nyame aduma next week so yeah to us so obi said Dr. Ren kindly bring this gentleman tomorrow. Ivan we busy easy say nyane sa anyway Ivan patch on the crack
I think that we need to be having a lot of social conversation. Last night, so I'll check my ways in your timer in the course of the week, you know. We can have a day that will focus on social issues, like we talked about the last time, you know, religious, those kind of stuff, extremism might grow up in our part of the world, you know. Yes, I think we need to talk about, but maybe we still my time. I think that I will employ Ghanaians in the diaspora, so that they be America, UK, wherever. See yourself as a stakeholder in an enterprise called Ghana. And think here, you should know the company they will be Riasika, will company the Yubia Musika, will be a show traces of arrogance, misconduct. I don't sit there and say, yeah. Let us take keen interest because a man will seek a bum. take time to look at foreign remittances about Chroma saying. A yearly basis, Usika Kamubi, you are a stakeholder.
For the last 10 years, 2013 to 2023, Ghana for a work contributed $28 billion.
So don't say that say a medium of free in count. One and now half a power and then be on from what is called Flower. So we are real. So we are depressed, those I know and fan already the Sika and Oje. But for all this nonsense to stop, we need to make sure that we fix this country and make it an arena, averaging, at least anyone at all can take care of himself. Or Flower, Nasabi Adena born so. And that is the only way we have the duty to do that. And say, yes, sir, I think Ghana will be a better place. And don't say it's not possible. Trust me, it is possible. When America started, now a look more daunting like this, but they made it possible. We can make it and make the Ghanaian dream possible. All it takes is commitment and sacrifices, and we need to do that.
Wow. Wow, Ivan, you better ask me and share Aduma. Wednesday, me pick one of the social conversation. Thank you so much for your time. Yellow Joe, young manage Joe Aquaba. Yellow Joe, Aquaba. Na Apomwe.
Oh, Yamyadum, won't say.
Yeah.
TV now, we are away.
Yes, you're here, Wapa.
I know so we come for a very quick one. And Mamitia and Ivan, I think I agree with you almost everything that he has said, especially being with the investigation. Doctor, how can I say President Mahama taking when instructed IGP said the killings in the 2020 elections and all that, Ameswell and all that, still in there. And a deadline on mine and pound.
And the crab, you may follow up, Yentin Hoshi, the crepa.
Okay, until we need to say a pound. President, because me, I have my disagreement, say, 70. You couldn't panai G for over now. I'm a president, I bet you say investigation. That man should be gone by now. So, you see, Doctor, this is the problem I have with young Ghana. Over school, I brought you about Betina, Missy, I brought you in a yabi, a new mammy, say Bianca, Ubenyes can always your answer. It seems I am quite on your own 2 no nevi. What the school will have a bubble PhD near the idea, say, Chrome Hannah 77, and there will be leadership like this, and Kabadi someone resign that.
What don't studio about King's College, or don't studio about King's College. Now, no crime, and one was said, no, I am one was IGP, no one known a year head of MTTD. A year research, a year department. Then so under him, Ghana motor accident, any a year accident happen here. Who know a year friend is intervention reforms be or the buy. So you be any atamino near the number IGP. Hey Ghana.
Because under what circumstances now I'm a president castle by investigation answer. And then number 2, what they see of Parliament. Doctor, no police if only anymore.
Oh, Mujina, no salute to MPs, no.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get it, Doctor. Who you are into this research thing. Mesrewa, Sayambo, now Wednesday, very possible. My some of the privileges are a Chroma MPs in a work. MPs in Quadia 77. Only some Rubiana Kakan, say, you work for privileges committee. I don't know a day on me. I don't let us say MPs, they are not still. I don't let us say 77 on my year, Juma.
Oh, Oliver Bakavoma was stealing now and go for Gigi Sikanuana.
Me so be Catria MPB so and Celia, yes, and Tiasia.
Our friend or a micro minority no can say, oh, you don't be a silly child. No.
Exactly. Now, do and yes, 77 for my being man on me, and yes, silly people on me, yes, sir. Yet I can't. This committee, and your mind like your team. Yeah, for servant, not servant, and I am ra, said Brano, be I am more position. Yenge yentimi fa servant no yentimi someone omo emba say mudi nkwasi asem 7 musumu ba ansa na wudi o ka say ane do akọ parliament ye the law be act tiro mo say 7 another pray election nya ono no go tuo ye another pray no go tuo ye ti say wa tuo e dem ran e organ e man kwan so tuo no fa mo obi o say I mean doctor, sometimes we need to be serious. We cannot be having a country like this. As you said, it is very appalling. There is nothing honorable about these people. Irrespective of whether MPP and this, there is nothing honorable about them.
Hey, now we branch secretary we and NDC Ewolisi. Why when you much chamba pamu?
Doctor, say yes, for over 30 something years, Ghana and April. Me, I'm not here to serve John Mahama or to serve Bendis. I'm here to serve my country. What I say, me mbambe ye NDC and MPP. Your mind yet and your party yet say. So party ye you know mine say party no de coin. Over so good through so away. But on mine ye and a party no enyam faso. I'm not here to serve anybody. And anything I make can say, on mine then I say yes, I say a better through mine more mine either. Aye. Na ye na ye ho atọ so man ye ya MPP or NDC so ye na ye be enjoy. I will not be here to because some years I am a hypocrite and now MPP 4 years ago I was challenging say Gabo and the rest say mumbra na mumba condemn mo aban no na dwumi me so dia me kata so mo aso enye ye da and your mumba pam mentem because I'm not ready to go by that rule ni say we don't wash our dirty linen outside. If you don't want the dirty linen to be washed outside, don't make the linen dirty in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. Fancy, I say. Your time in tea, and as Yami had much now. Nobody train come up, me nobody come up 1-on-1. Thank you so much. Johnny, Cotine, Kano, and no Adumasa. I was say, I love this color. One more muti, no, one more might be down. What you see? I say, pepe. Abonon soon 7 p.m. Ye be call Ghana. I believe quick. And a Rainbow Radio. We call the Kesiepa to say Rainbow Radio London. Kesiepa and so on. Yakofa Yankontomun news at 7. Na eja wait.
Innocent ewa last week nkofo bisa wasesa na meso innocent ye ontanye absent nti oye absent ba kwa so hu se asem a esi no na anu odin innocent bi abako de gade jamiase e na afemi bra panyi listo na kusipoko enso ewa ha branie
ba
den no awa mre mi cake ni bi
cake ni yenye ntwa
ade no mo ntwa
ntwa
Martin. Okay, Pacha so ho ye de. Okay. Ye de nyame ase week no na ye. Weekend no nyina be si neyi.
Say no say Ghana hanu mi hu ne say ade ba ko adom ye ne say obi a nse da ni sika bia wo ne botum.
Ande no.
But obi a ye okay.
Framafufuru bia
bo afa ye ho. Ama say no nipa na nka kane no o ko adwuma kura na o haw sani o mani ni hobiem ade ba ko pe enam se aka ye bambo sem no baby enenam enye nti yegusua yesro mampani se ebe hia on se wo obi a oye wo Inspector General of Police na or under report to a year incidents of crime na opese onu look good in your eyes as president. Say crime is on the descendancy, meanwhile crime is on the ascendancy. A idea ebe ma oye ni betimi abomai. Moreover, say wo IGP the entire police personnel no say na ushia police bia just randomly na opese ototo na no ebusa no baako ana mienu bi say ne ekoso yi opa catch you straight in your face say mo anyi IGP a oye ne beba. In fact, I have had to solve problems. Yeah, senye me a enka trouble bi anka eba ye no. Enka enye asem ketwa. Nti no mesre na omampani odenani akoso biem. Sanse baby aye duro no. Who be here?
IGPD.
Oh no, I was here in it because 777 presence. In fact, beyond a year, no, there should be investigation. I was here conducted forensic one into his tenure.
Okay.
And much also to do with how police seek assem has been over the years since he became the IGP. No.
Okay.
The welfare money, the UN Sika, Omode policy for how all those monies have been expended.
Okay.
I think it will be very important to look into those subjects. And yes, it won't serve as deterrent to...
Parliament must go.
No, he must go.
Okay.
It's a must.
See, very innocent. Yes, I mean, sure, sir. I know the one child, quick 1 minute, be enough. The first topic, you know, the Ashas petition now, the Akoma President Mahama on Electoral Commission. Jemensa was Manasare, Tetene and Crawford. Me sure say no president by ye na no pay bi on be briefing in Sabeka petition. Any petition na dey nkomo e wo CTV ha say ya e wo maga no koso so mo akire ni reasons why ya e wo say Jemensa ye sake no. We share fundamental human rights we abubu so sal for 4 years o manya representation. Bias and in your listing your money bebre and see may your take on that na fame yemfa second topic, you know, EPA declares war on illegal mining. Immediate shutdown ordered.
Okay. The day came I mentioned what here for last week. I think they're not much here for you know. So I think the petitioner call for the removal of Jemensa. No, they are my candidate. So Obian petition na me ankasa metro. Oh yes, I've said it several times and it's good say yenya that particular petition and it's expected is in line and I'm expecting say president will act on it and make sure say obe follow to the latter. I know the day no when you watch hunting who go through petition and I say me lay hands on merit. I think say nothing stop the president from acting on it because yes and Ghana is a serious country now. Nipo mudi and nimno sabi they have respect for the people of this country and ka here so we send the petition to the president say Jemensa enko kono ankasa tenase no carry ni tibua no hwe niam akoswa you just have to resign on your own but unfortunately in our part of the world no that sense of decency dignity no within us ne bi ni ho enti nipa no obetenase ya till whatever that happen u betenase na bisa say edien ene besi Elema Electoral Commission a day before elections, a bit mere a disenfranchise a whole community for no apparent reason. Na Sam Crofona Quatanase, ya deny more representation in Parliament for 4 good years. Yet state institutions, even post the elections in Ukraine, nobody moved in to remedy this injustice. Individuals yet deny or more constitutional right to have representation in Parliament. So I think that a grave injustice and assault on the foundations of our democracy in our constitution. So it is in that order. And the Jemensa and Bosman Nasar and several other people from War Commission and Kasaye people they don't engender confidence, trust, and that particular sense of neutrality and independence that you expect from such institution. No, it's not there. It's the reason why I had to abandon you saw this massive intrusion, political party supporters move into Electoral Commission offices and so forth because they didn't believe in say Electoral Commission will be fair. And I think that alone, no, not a threaten our coercion, our democracy, the election process and so forth. So these are individuals who manage such an institution, and people don't have trust in them. I think that the best thing we can do is to get them out, going through the constitution because it is not for nothing. And a constitutional framework is not true. Powers Electoral Commission other way no they created a window ko omunim say emre bi beso emre bi beso ma yenya obi amana be head such institution behavior like this will pop up, and we cannot put ourselves in a corner. To me, that is why they created that window. For the removal of such person. Obitia was Manasare. So we see in the commentary, Biena no kasati musasebi or lacking emotional intelligence because such a person or lacking that particular thing cannot lead such a sensitive institution. Because prior to the election, not tension, poppy up Okroma saying he was bold enough to stand on public, says NDC or say a threat to Ghana's democracy.
Yeah.
You are a referee.
Yeah.
NDC at the time no a critical stakeholder in the elections now okasa say na the day your position become untenable because when say political party try to Ghana's democracy and then you will do everything in your power to make sure say you thwart their effort, you understand? But I'm saying that sense of when you know he didn't even see say that they now all again tete ya no ka ho ye press conference be can say be nsem hunu kire Ghana for say register a man for a complaint say your friend say enya credible no na mo go back to 2016 na ehwa na emwa na nkokokora wo mu no enua this is a commissioner Ghana for taxes in Editua in any serious your friend say country no such a person the very press conference no onwie na ya pamono but the president we had at the time no you will be a hear no evil see no evil that kind of way no there about so I think say time has come for us to remedy all this, your friend say, Niama Akoso Kroma, the assault on state institutions, individuals, we have a crime this way, ya maneuver, and yet, no electoral commission, even the court itself, Kwanya Kufu the fast wa packing nipa, court, and over 121 appointments from your friends a high court, your friends a appeals court to Supreme Court, and I appointing the Panedo Mokoguo. Yes, President would have right to do so. But you offer individuals now we review one after the other. You realize that these are individuals that will be free by partisan ties, partisan exposure. Some have certain unholy alliance and affinity to some individuals or more power than as a foreigner. Ebasana, you destroy trust. You destroy public confidence. Enti amanfo nyahoto so e these institutions. So these are some of the things that reposition Ghana for a better future. These are some of the things that we need to do as a country. Sebeya ebetimi repose once again public trust and confidence in these institutions. Sebeya a democracy no ebetimi agina anya sa trust me. The democracy of this country will continue to be threatened when these individuals are or more heady various institutions are not ready to let things go. The right thing. Because institutions are not working for us. And the foundational way a democracy in Nigeria. So the very moment these institutions begin to trip off, it means a democracy is tripping off, and we cannot afford that. We voted for change to lay a solid foundation for a better Ghana to take off. That foundation, we cannot make mistakes. We need to make sure that we strengthen state institutions and give them the power and the neutrality and the kind of trust that because we live in a country where state institutions cannot be trusted by the people. For instance, police vote me to the good in China, the mobile good in China, for. How can you do that? Such a police custody, statement in about one thing, nobody answers for anything. So I know the day the answer trust better than Nipa Benya I was stating. So I think that is in that order. And then back to your first way, Galamsey, I think that is one of the things that and the last time I have a catcher say from a medical background, say the toxic exposure man for go through because of your friends distraction go in our environment and as for clearly you don't need obi no catcher and if you go to our various hospitals there sabi now when TV da tete no and then they dware yan obi time wo akra na nani ba ku ni all these are because of if I said toxicity, man for I exposed to because of mining activities and as for them, and Kwanya government fast or handle the issues of mining. Clearly, there are prominent people. Yes, I never will you. Here need to Galamsey. People in high position. Because we had a situation where president signed an executive order giving people said they should go to forest reserve and mine. Oh no, I'm not sure so you ever conceive such a idea. But all these things happened. At the end of the day, we also saw investigations about some individuals were named. Professor Frimpong Boateng report Babontin as a serious president, we were expecting at least such a report will be acted on. At the end of the day, Frimpong Boatimbo became a victim. And he's moving from one court to another, and so for investigation all year now has been trashed, has been bastardized, and nobody even takes him serious anymore. So I think the promise that President Mahama made to the people of this country, Galamsey, no, it stop here. And people move to Galamsey in as much as I can say government officials were people who were leading. There are several people who are also belonging to the other side of the political divider. They are also involved in these things. There must be commitment, that commitment must be absolute, must be unwavering, because Ghana for such distraction any political and partisan colors NDC MPP no yankasa yansase ne yensuo. The time has come for us to resolve say this is what we want to do, and that promise president make it to Ghana for no I'm expecting say obe acte na nkoye say yenso yaba power aduru yenso ye na ye kwakotu eba saa that trust in Ghana for repose it will be gone. So things like this, you see, you have to be very decisive as president with clarity of thought. You know what you want to do. Trump promises he'll be deported a man for. This is Gaia. He's doing everything to ensure that vision goes through. As a president, sometimes you may disagree with him, but that kind of authority, decisiveness, that clarity of thought, that is what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, my culture says, nipa doesn't need nipa. So we jana evil obey no ebe ya onwanwa se mra ni hona yeti hona obi ye de opa. So always there must be your friend said that kind of way na e wo ha ebe stop man but culture say nipa ye nipa boni ni all that they need is incentives and opportunities to thrive. So as government your job is to take away the opportunities and the incentive and tell man say there are consequences for your actions and as for the red lines are there. The conventional deterrence has been established across what these are the consequences for you. So I think that is the near day. As the Mahama government in AUSU to pursue this Galamsey. Now Akufo-Addo chapter is gone. We cannot come and sit here and say Akufo-Addo they are as see. And I think that we can also follow the trail. People are more cautious such distraction. We need to prosecute them just to ensure that we send a message. Because at some point in time, people at the presidency, some key individuals in government, their involvement was so overwhelming to the sense that report, audio recording, videos, and that's why I call and that's why and the videos, but one thing clearly, I said their involvement, cannot be swept under the carpet. So I think that I expect the president because 4 years, is a period. We need to rewrite the political narrative in this country. Weakness is something that cannot be tolerated. Mercy is something that cannot be tolerated. We need to show people, say, really, we are really committed in building Ghana, and that is the only language Ghanaians want to listen. Because, yes, I always say, from this is a country blessed with everything. But why is it that people are still going? Because even though they don't have whatever it takes, we need to build this country and make sure say a place people can dwell and survive.
As a man innocent, he came to American embassy when the father so line. I'm saying I want to trap come on now. I'm going to Jefferson. I know her video with my sister. I'm so bit came to Nanim, not police car, not car, engine, no beer door, no be what how can you put this? But you can't blame them because about I don't know trouble. Yeah, probably so.
Obaya, we dey mesa chiatifo biem ne ahwefo na machia menuanu mabedwafo na mabo abaso na adwumaso awoye. Na your friend is saying, I mean James de according to say I say ya kama ya so abu. What I say. Or no, and you see forms of threats are a way democracy no. So we share the most dangerous one Electoral Commission because omen bia e wo democracy mo no adia ye dey test democracy no abre bia ye election eno na eboama yetimi ehu se de ekone ye anade eba ne na eye oh na se ekoba se election na de be determine ame who say democracy no ebetimi agina ne naso na nipa ono eye referee no onipa bonfo bi ahyeda bonitiri mu po se me kwa akofa obi a ono no ebetimi a manipulate system a ye de to aba in my favor se ne be ya sebi your vote will not even count na emomu no me no me whims and caprices no by them no me metimi at thrive se basana democracy no a papi it was here for the past period a Akufo-Addo share making sure say or dinkofo a omono be making sure say obewa abamu ana say ne nkofo obewa abamu ebe hye baabi no
yeah
those that I call the criminal syndicates no omo I destroy your democracy no to a certain point but you see omo share democracy no omo ema ekoye say the power always belongs to the people
yeah
it is enkenye nyame ene dum ye no oboa yen ene nka ye call ye sene ye to aba in 2024 December yi ekoya ene nka bia nke ko ben ho kakra bia nka oye ni bebo ma we because ye free bibi piatum na nka mbe piatum na chese nka aba no nipa na sebi yempe no no abe mampani ti se de Akufo-Addo 2020 na yempe no a eni ye bo abeka kire Ghana for say even without any figures we ye mampani bepem ne ye nima ba Akufo-Addo nya ya o de be ye mampani na so be ye mampani fie na and emani nya ahotoso bi se ba ko atimi akwa metimi de ba omia
asa
ya wadi amia asa ahyemokon etino Electoral Commission no eni kwansenka impo ye hu petitioners krampo said ye e course Akufo-Addo apenso no na nke President Mahama abiding by senior on my way democracy netie no nko akora no ko betimi de by the stroke of a pen ayiomadi then so akoye say be two wrongs must not make any right entino we dey petitioners aba in fact I think say enye one petition and I'm do so sen kwan enti me say obi bia sebi
opeso
chiro petition say nka say obi di ko dada enu ntino ensi hwa I would even rather prefer say ye be bie ye friend is saying petition ni be online na Ghana fo nyina ensign na ye nto aba ye hu yes or no na ye hwe say je mensa o se fata se o so tena wa na oh adwen bone suban bone me yire nnua me yire wo faase ana se me yire ennua ba amana ba be di ye friends Electoral Commissioner makofa boss masare obi anim so NPP Tescon Legon on a patron makofa no samitete obi anim samitete ne political affiliation obi anim no emrebi na MPP entokwe koso a ye say ye ti amayoko foforo o kai say me na me di anim ena me call samitete o say satan no political desk on ye me call no say ye pe forms no nyoma he advised me to go back to the MPP because he knows say the MPP will win the next election. And so
Electoral Commissioner.
Yes, Samitete. I know him very personally. What am I saying? And so these are persons you cannot just trust them with such positions. Umbe destroy a democracy no. Oh, obi be dwen say say NDC na wa ban mu. And Electoral Commission timi wi aban mu a nenka eye den na John Mahama we ne ye. Oh, enye wi a obetimi awie ma na ontimi wi mu. Se ne be ya nipa benya didie ewo institution ni mu. Because se didie ni wa e den sem pi ba hwe e den ye wo se ekoto aba na obi nipa ba akopakura ahwere ne nkwa. Ade a wuko gina box mu no wa kire de mepe. Wa bobo ne kama na de akose box mu ya kan ye hu se we afa we awe. MPP for call your my report o ya o mani magu ase a sabi konkontani magu ase ama kuruma enya feri ene omuti we omowe
o mari
enkenye nipa sabi o Ghana ha ene ye bokoboko koto aba no ngina so hwe se ne e wose abato ne kwa ema sabi periperi yokra kakra ba ya no krampo no ye wi ase no hwe parliamentary seats a omo try to make sure say NDC enya to test majority ntino omo try to even make it look as if say MPP for winning here Yeah, NDC for so I hear higher. Many of them this are not on pray. We lose. He knew he had lost.
Then Parliament self apology.
And then another on prayer. It means about Parliament. Patrick Yabuama, he lost. Kumi, he lost. Me no mo nsem na me kan yo. Oh, me say kan dey twa ba bia. Me nua no pa onye nchen yo. E na me kan mo say they all lost. They lost. Now they have found their ways back in Parliament and they are misbehaving.
Yeah.
Because you have given them some form of impunity, sir. Even when they have lost, they can still be in power.
Yeah.
So all these things must be looked at.
Okay.
It's not just about the petition, say, no. Political parties must sit up. The executives of NDC must sit up. Oh, you must not be just allowed to be led and Debiana Obiaba Okokan Patrick Yabo may say Adea Kufo say. Who I mean Kufo say? Kufo, how many votes does he have? Me and me PLS Kufo no. But Kufo cannot bring Yabo to Parliament.
Abra constituency.
Constituency for CM Peno say Kufo say. How does that endanger confidence in the system?
Yeah.
Kufo say. Any of my Kufo go to Abamane. So all these things don't help. Now you NDC now to one now share. Executive no one part in idea. Oh, these things that we put some egos in ourselves, me a party chairman, me a party secretary, me a party way, me away. Without the party base, no, you are nothing. So all these things, once we look at Momoni ne share, ne ho sent to 2 year or crack off away. And all these things must be looked at. Please.
Okay.
So I think, sir, with that, no, we must not belabor the point.
All right.
Jemensa, Boss Masari, Sami Tete, and that guy who was the IT guy, who was always on the panel with us like this, who was a guy in the wool MPP communicator, who has been put there.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you be behaving like this in a democracy?
Okay.
Now, Akufo-Addo was that bold. What must I say? And he didn't care about the safety of this country. All those put together, no. Maybe I think, say, President Mahama must crack the whip and make sure, say, it be CBM. And when Uncle say, ye koyi Jemensa akofa MPP ni ana NDC ni abaho. They electoral commissioner no, obe affiliated to a certain political party, but it must not be glaring.
So
it must not be obvious. Any question say yet to say, hey, yakwa kofa, ebi a Listowell say, koye electoral commissioner. When you know, say, it with Listowell, even when I want to be fair, I will be biased.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm being candid.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see MPP ever again in power. That one I will be very smartly, I'll tell you. Because they are criminals.
Yeah,
and we must make sure say, it never happens. Say MPP betimi aba bemu biem. And your party for floor. Omo pomo ko join. No omo followers. But say pass e be hu de nanu see ye efie nwotwi and the Akufo-Addo ba womia na po na kan na nke te he na kan na po ye vice president. Awa nyankopon e ko betua ye ka. Kanyankopon ba me ya tita pansam say na po me ye vice president. Now you see to the extent say